welcome to church.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel.
Oh,
Okay.
hey guys, welcome to my church.
Welcome to my channel. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome to church.
Yeah, big cheese.
Cheese, Cash.
Cheese.
That's a good one. Hi everybody, welcome to Autism and Us. This will be the third episode for the series. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah and I have a little boy his name is Cash. He's 6 years old and he was diagnosed with ASD at the age of 3.5. If you do want to check out some of our earlier videos, I'll link them below so you can check them out. Now, I do mention in a lot of our videos that, I am just a mum and, I'm not a specialist, I'm not a doctor, so this really is just experience with our family and our little boy. Hopefully that we can help some people in the same situation. But yeah, definitely don't mean to offend anybody, or I am a bit nervous that I'll say the wrong thing at times, so please bear with me. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about Cash at age 3 and 4 years old. I do have some notes here. So I am going to be brutally honest with you guys about this. These years were very challenging for us, especially, not just Cashy, but us as a family as well. Cashy was, 3 and 4. He wasn't really able to communicate with us, so there was a lot of meltdowns. The meltdowns could have been over anything, and they were, I think there was like 7 to 8 every day, and, it's not just like a little tantrum, I wouldn't say. Like, these are meltdowns. These go for anywhere from 10 minutes to 45 minutes. They were quite extreme. A lot of screaming, just because he was unable to express how he was feeling. So if he was frustrated, or if he was angry, or if he was sad, it all just came out through screaming and tears and hitting, and just, it was just really difficult for him at that point. We're obviously trying to implement like a visual aid sort of system, but even that was taking a lot of time. We even went to use, some sign languages. So we only know really the basics because Cash did sort of pick up the visual aid, the PEX system, a little bit after that. So he did only use like a couple of signs, but they used that at his pre-prep class. It was actually quite difficult for me to take him out of the house at times. I was often in tears, like even just going down to the shop. He would, run away from me. He would run in front of cars. It just got to a very unsafe situation most of the time. I would say probably 95% of the time. So it was easier for us to stay at home. If Matt was home, he was, if he was with us, then it was a lot easier for the family. Obviously Cashy listens to Matt a little bit more than Mummy. We found bedtime was actually quite difficult, especially at 3. We would get home from work and, trying to put Cash to sleep would take anywhere from like 45 minutes to like 2 hours sometimes. It was very, very difficult. There was a lot of screaming happening. He just wouldn't settle for some reason. We got, obviously us as parents, we got quite frustrated as well. It was just like a really difficult time for the family, I think. By the end of 4, we definitely had it down pat. When he was 3 to 4, I was always reading novels to him because I did know that he struggled with that speech. I was just trying to do anything possible, so we would read novels. Well, I would read to him and he would just listen. He never really, reacted. He'd never let me know that he could, he never really communicated that he understood what I was saying, but I just thought the more words I was talking, like the more words I was sort of expressing to him was gonna help, I guess. I hoped. The pediatrician did prescribe melatonin, We decided though that we didn't really want to go down that path. I know other mums that have used it and it's worked brilliantly for them, but just for us, we just decided that we didn't want to do that, and I'm glad that we did write it out, even though it was very difficult. So Kashi's had a bit of sensory issues from 3 to 4, and they were the fact that he couldn't actually touch goop or at first Play-Doh, but he got over that quite quickly. Anything sticky, so if I made like noodles or something, he would never touch it. He always had to use tongs. Yeah, he wouldn't do finger painting or anything that touched his fingers. Even chalk, he wouldn't even hold a chalk stick just because he just hated the feel. He actually started to gag with holding the chalk. I remember before even we started, you know, some therapy, he wouldn't even touch the chalk. I do hope that you watch the next video though, because it does get more positive. He barely even picked up a pen around those ages. You know, trying to implement that at home. He would do it at pre-prep, but not at home. You know, it really just ended with him throwing it and having a massive meltdown. So we really had to be careful with, you know, what battles we really had to choose our battles and be careful with that. Social skills, he did have one friend at kindy that he is friends to still with to this day. You know, it was very sweet. They did sort of at kindy start to teach the other kids the basic signs so they could communicate with Kashi, which was really sweet. Yeah, there wasn't, he got along really well with his cousins because he did spend the most time with his cousins, but it was difficult for him to connect with anybody else really, and eye contact was quite low at that point. We started him at 2.5 for speech therapy. It really didn't seem to make much of a difference, I thought. Just personally, but everybody said to stick it out because, you know, even if I thought it wasn't making a difference, it definitely was in his mind. You know, when we did start speech therapy, and from 3 to 4, it was a very slow progression. It still is, but when I went into speech therapy, I had a list of about 50 words, and you know, within a year it was probably 75. It was very low. The words were like stop, mum, dad, no, never yes. He never said the word yes, actually, not until like I'd say 5. I wish, in terms of therapy, I do wish that I had started him in occupational therapy at the age of 4. You know, we saw wonderful results from occupational therapy, and I do often wonder if I had started him that year early, you know, where we might be. That's a little tip you might want to think about. So back to kindy. By age 4, when he was in kindy, he really wasn't socializing with anyone else other than this one little boy. He wasn't interested in many of the activities. He really was just sort of playing by himself and observing, which I think is great and in its way, but he was also, you know, we were starting to notice that he was falling behind on, you know, certain things that the other kids could obviously do. We made the decision to pull him out of kindy, and I stopped work and I did a bit of a home kindy program with him at home. We did things like we just played games and we did puzzles. You know, we did a little bit of arts and crafts, even though he hated it, so that was always challenging. You know, we did a lot of outdoor play in the afternoon. Just really having that one-on-one was really beneficial for Cash, because you know, obviously kindy just didn't have the resources to do that, which is, you know, just unfortunate, I guess. Fruits. Cash has always been a bit of a fussy eater, so it was a lot of bananas, sausages, what have I got? Frozen peas and corn. Now look, that hasn't changed. It's still some of his favorite. We have expanded a little bit at this age, but I'll go through that in the next video. He loved potato chips, just hot chips, loved them. Raisin toast, cereal, and milk. He absolutely loved milk. He was drinking a lot of milk all the time, which is funny now because now we don't even give him any milk at this point. Yeah, we've really tried to reduce his dairy. It's like colours and ABCs. Cash really didn't know any of that. He was able to, you know, sort colours, so we always had little bowls, and he was able to sort the colours quite easily actually. If he saw something, like just say we had purple over here, he was able to match the purple. But if I was to say, Cash, can you get me purple things, he wouldn't be able to do that. ABC, no way. even his name, it was very challenging. I can't remember, I think it was 4, maybe the end of 4 or maybe early 5s, where he did actually start to say his name. He did know the animals though, his sounds of animals. Some other things I would like to just mention just before we finish. Some of the books that he loved was Dear Zoo and what else? Cars Opposites, and we had to buy 2 of those because he loved it so much, because he loved Disney cars. Like, he was obsessed with that, so we really used anything that he loved to learn with. Like, that was our sort of, you know, that's how we got him to learn anything that he was obsessed with. We really, you know, went to town on that. There's the green sheep, just to have some suggestions. He really loved them because he knew, you know, especially with Dear Zoo, he knew the animals, he could make the sounds. So he did know a bunch of foods too. Before colours or ABC, he was, you know, banana was one of his top 50 words, so apple. I know I kind of rushed through that a little bit, but that was, yeah, basically all the notes that I've written down about Cash when he was age 3 and 4. I hope you guys got some value out of this video, and, you know, if I could help anybody that's going through the same situation, you know, ages 3 and 4 might seem a bit daunting and a little bit challenging, but I'd like to tell you that, you know, especially in our case, it did get a lot better. Cash is doing amazing at the moment. He's thriving, and we're just going in leaps and bounds. I do really think that ages 3, you know, 2 to 3, and even for our case 4, was a little bit challenging, but it does get better. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos from us. I will also link the previous videos down below too if you want to check those out. And our next video, I'm going to talk about Cash ages 5 and 6, so stay tuned for that one. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you